What's up, everybody? It's Derek Minton, owner of Full Tilt CrossFit, Middle Georgia Athletics and Wellness. I'm here again to help you guys out with your programming for 325. Hopefully this thing only's got to last this week and next week. We thank every one of you who are doing these at-home workouts. If you're on Facebook, you'll see pictures of the workouts. If you're following along on Instagram or just YouTube, the workouts themselves will be wrote in the video every time we go through each one. But for every single one of them, we're going to have the same warm-up. I'm going to go over the warm-up first. What we're going to do for the warm-up is every minute on the minute for 12 minutes. I want you guys to do each one of these, cycle through these movements, work for about 45 seconds, rest for about 15, start at the top of the minute on the next one. The first movement that we're going to do is push-ups. Now, push-ups are done incorrectly a lot. What we really want to focus on in our push-up is our elbows. Where are our elbows and the angle that they're at off of our shoulder? We don't want to be pushing in this position right here with our elbows flared out parallel to our shoulder. We want to be down here at a 45 degree. So if we can pull them in either by rotating the elbow when it's on the ground or setting your hands in a placement that allow it to come back to 45 degrees, that's where we want our push-ups. If you're having trouble getting into your push-up, you can always start at a plank position, and I'm going to show you. Lower yourself down and then drive up onto the knees and then come back to the plank. So elbows 45s, and then everyone starts, let me back up a little bit, in a plank position. Everybody is here. Everyone can lower down, and then if you need to, push up to the knee, keeping your core tight, drive back to here, lower down. For everyone else, let's just get 45 seconds of push-ups, 15-second rest, move on to the next movement, which is gonna be a squat jump. You can scale this back by just squatting. You can scale this back squat jumping, but if we can, we would like to spin, okay? So 45 seconds, squat down, let's get below parallel in our squat, drive our knees out, head and chest stay up, jump out of this, spin, land, back down, and you don't have to stop in between. You can go right into the next squat. So squat, jump up, squat, up. You can change sides. I even suggest that don't sit there and spin around, don't get dizzy. 45 seconds of that, 15 seconds of rest. I'm already out of breath. Next movement we got is plank variations, okay? 45 seconds of planking. I want you guys to just play with it, okay? You can do multiple versions of planks. We can hold here. We can hold here. We can get crazy, put hands out. We can put feet up. We can move to the side. We can do whatever we need to, rotating through plank positions for 45 seconds. Lastly, we have a stretch, but we're gonna stay active with our hip stretch. So for 45 seconds, what we're gonna do, step out as if we were lunging, drop the knee down, hands here, drive the hip forward. So looking from the side angle, what this looks like, out, knee driving out and forward, sink the knee down, stretch, and then what we're gonna do is walk that out. 4 or 5 seconds in the hole every time, drive, up, knee out, up, hanging out there. Maybe 4, I was only doing a second, but you get what I'm doing. 4 or 5 seconds each time. We're gonna do every minute on the minute for 12 minutes. So what that means is we're running through each one of these movements 3 times for our warm up. Push-ups, squat jumps, plank variation, and hip stretch. And now we're gonna talk about the first workout, which is the home gym workout. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go over the home gym workout. This is also our class workout, what we're gonna do. It is a 15-minute AMRAP of 5 cleans. And we, if you can power squat clean this, we would love for you to work on that technique while we're here. 5 cleans, 10 chest to bar pull-ups, and 15 burpee box jumps. So for the clean, I'm gonna come over here and demo it. If you can squat clean, that's what I want you to work on, okay? We wanna work on pulling under the bar and catching the bar in a great front rack. What weight, for our class, we have about 225, 155, which can seem heavy, but where we would like you to scale that to is roughly 65 to 75% of your max. Form always is the first thing that you need to work on. And if the form is not great, take it down to a position that you can get great form and work there. If your form is pretty good with your clean, 65, 75% is somewhere in that range that we want to work. It's a moderately heavy load, but it's not something that you can't work through. After our 5 cleans, we have 10 chest to bar pull-ups. If for this program here, this is a home gym. You have the pull-up stuff. I'm gonna show you multiple different ways to do this, from chest to bar pull-ups, to pull-ups, to jumping pull-ups, to ring rows, even if you have to do banded pull-ups, which I suggest not doing, we can do those. That's how we're gonna scale this thing back. And then finally, we're gonna finish over here on the box with 15 burpee box jumps. First thing is we got the clean. On these squat cleans, make sure that we're hitting full extension. And as our feet need to come off the ground, when they hit, we need to be driving under the bar. We're pulling and pulling ourselves under the bar. It's not about getting the weight up, it's about getting yourself underneath the bar. So, head and chest stay up, back has to stay flat. Squeeze, pull, elbows up, stand up. That's a moderately heavy load for me. That's somewhere around 70% of my max, and that took a lot out of me to hit 5. You don't have to go that fast through it, and I suggest not going that fast. It's a 15-minute workout. After we hit our 5 cleans, come to the pull-up bar, let's talk about pull-ups. All right, guys, so after your cleans, we're gonna run right into your 10 chest to bar pull-ups. You can complete these any way you need to. They can be kipping chest to bar, they can be butterfly chest to bar, they can be strict chest to bar if you can do that. But 10 pull-ups, go over it right here, drive through, up, touch, butterflying, kipping, strict, however you want to knock those out, 10 pull-ups. If you can't get chest to bar, it's completely okay to get chin over the bar pull-ups. That would be the next progression down. After that, we have jumping pull-ups. What we want to do here, you can see my hands up here. So they're my wrist is about 3 inches above the bar. That's the height that you want to have. This movement needs to start at full extension, and always. As we use our legs to help us pull, we don't want your legs to do all the work. Let your arms work. Lower yourself down back to full extension with using your arms. Okay, don't just fall into a bottom position. So full extension start, jump, pull, lower yourself down. I understand some of you might not be able to go this slow, but what we don't want to happen is what I'm about to show you. Watch my shoulders, watch what happens to it if I just let go and drop to a full extension position. So everything is tight, I pull, I just drop. That is very, very bad. Stay locked in with your lats, stay pulling throughout the whole lift to keep everything safe. Jump, pull, back down here. Jump, pull, back down here. Not allowing that. Next movement we have, a banded pull-up. I'm not a big fan of these, but for some of you guys, you might want to do this. For me, it doesn't really teach the kip that well. I would rather you learn how to kip and then build up the strength to get a strict pull-up. But I know some gyms out there allow this crap, so we're gonna let you guys see how to do it maybe a little bit better to help you. We get into this thing, we gotta get a foot into it. That's number one. Don't want this thing to slip on us. Make sure you got a good band that doesn't pop you in the face. Now from here, we're gonna use our legs, make sure it's locked in. It's not gonna go anywhere. We're going to pull, allowing the band to help us, but don't just be here playing, okay? We're trying to get better. So lower yourself down, pull, lower yourself down, pull, get the band that you need that's gonna be able to help you actually get something from those pull-ups. Lastly, what we have is ring rows. Set the rings roughly to your hip height, feet directly underneath. We're gonna fall back all the way to full extension. Pull all the way up, touch, back down. I can make this easier by walking myself up. I can make this harder by walking myself down. 10 pull-ups, whichever variation. All right, guys, so the last move we have after our 5 cleans, 10 chest to bar pull-ups is we got 15 burpee box jumps. For the burpee, I'm gonna show you a more competitive way to knock these out, burpee box jumps. Then I'm gonna show you how to walk it back and scale it. Everybody's gonna be at a different speed, but we care about safety more than anything. So, burpee, kicking our legs out, falling down to that chest and hips touching the ground position. As we jump up out of the burpee, push our shoulders up to arc our back And from this position, I'm gonna throw my hips to the ceiling, bringing my feet underneath me. So hips to ceiling, feet underneath, then I'm up. From here, if you can get it close enough to here to just make it in one jump, that's awesome. If not, step up and then make your box jump. So good burpee box jump, and then back down. Hitting full extension at the top of this, making sure that we have to come up to full extension on the hips. Now let's walk back to burpee box jump. If you can't just hop down, that's completely okay. When I get tired, I do the same thing. So down, all the way down, laying ourselves down. As we get up, we're gonna come up however we need to, step up to the box. If you can't jump on the box, then step up is great. We'd love for you not to press off, but if you have to, that's okay. So hit our burpee, chest and hips hit the ground, stand up, step up. If you need this, I'm okay with it. I'd rather you not because you get more out of it if you don't. 5 cleans, 10 chest to bar pull-ups, 15 burpee box jumps for 15 minutes. If you have any questions, put it in the comments. All right, guys, now we're gonna talk about our dumbbell / barbell workout, where all you're roughly gonna need is a dumbbell. You can find a way to manipulate this workout, or a barbell. The workout is 5 rounds for time. We're gonna complete 18 dumbbell snatches, or if you have a barbell, we're going to wanna complete 12 barbell snatches. And then after that, we're gonna do 9 dips. We're gonna talk about how to scale that back, and then 50 double unders. So the workout, 5 rounds for time, 18 dumbbell snatch or 12 barbell snatch, 9 dips, and 50 double unders. You're gonna rest 3 minutes between each round. So what that means is we want you to attack the rounds with aggression. We want you to go as fast as you possibly can through the rounds, because a 3-minute rest is a lot. I don't want you to just take your time throughout those snatches. I want you to run through them, get through those dips, and get through the sprint at the end with the double unders. Let's talk about the dumbbell snatch. So we want to make sure that we keep the dumbbell as close to our body as possible. We want to keep our elbow up high as we pull, and then if we can get our feet off the ground as we extend up, drop under the bar, drop under the dumbbell, catch it, locked out. Head and chest stay up the whole time. I don't want to see anybody bent over in this position where your head is almost even with your butt. We want to squat down to get this dumbbell, pull, keeping the dumbbell as close to our body as we can, catch, lock out, stand up. We're gonna alternate every single time. Jump, catch, lock out, okay? So 18 of those. If you're a person with a barbell, from the ground, 12 reps, same thing. It's a moderate weight, it's not crazy heavy. Just use what you have at home. Choose something that you can stay moving with. After your 18 dumbbell snatches, we're gonna do dips. So if you have rings set up, awesome, because you got a home, if you have a home gym or whatever, but we're gonna talk about how you can get by without having to be able to do ring dips. If you have anything at all, I'm gonna show you like on this box. So on the box, we can, and most people have something that they could use to be able to do these dips. We wanna keep our elbows tucked in, keep our body as close to it as we can, drive ourselves down and push up. You can make that harder by picking your feet up and putting it on something to be able to do dips. If you don't have anything to do that dip, we can scale that back with a push-up or a hand release push-up. Again, elbows not out here at 90. We want to rotate our elbows in 45 degrees when we do our push-up. All the way down, we can do a hand release push-up, or we can just do full push-ups to scale in for the dips. Lastly, we have jump ropes. So 50 double unders, or we're gonna scale this back to 50 singles. We really want to work on, this is finishing this workout with a sprint. So double unders or single unders, I just want you guys to try to stay moving. I would like for you to be able to get all of these and really focus on that if you can. If you have any questions about this workout, again, 3 minutes rest between the 5 rounds per time. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments. Questions about this, please put it in the comments. What we have here, I know you guys have done barbell complexes before where we put together a bunch of string of movements with barbells, but this is gonna be a body weight complex that we're gonna flow into. What it is technically called a margarita flow, and what we want to do is a burpee into a push-up, into a jumping jack, into a sit-up, into a handstand hold. And it flows together, and I'm going to show you guys how to scale each one of these movements if you can't do it. So first thing we got, burpee, up, jump, back down into a push-up, out of our push-up, into a jumping jack, sit down, into a sit-up, out of the sit-up, flow into a handstand hold, kick out, okay? You're gonna keep that flow up for 1 minute. So again, burpee, push-up, jumping jack, sit-up, handstand hold. Back down. That is the margarita flow. What we want to do is in this workout, we're going to do that flow for 1 minute. After that 1 minute, we're going to do what's called a crab walk. If you can't crab walk, we can bear crawl. And if you can't bear crawl, we can do what we call deadlift toe taps. So crab walking, we want to be backwards. We're going to be sitting here, and we're going to do this in 10-foot sections, working back and forth, whatever across your garage, whatever you need to do, 10 foot, 10 foot, 10 foot, however that works. 1 minute of the margarita flow, 1 minute of the crab walk, 2 minutes of the margarita flow, 2 minute crab walk, 3 minutes of margarita flow, 3 minutes of crab walk. Now, let's scale back a little bit of this. So burpee, you don't have to jump down. Everybody can get down onto the ground and get up. Again, with our push-ups, everyone can start in a plank. They can lower themselves down. You can push up to a knee, and then you can go back to your plank. Up, jumping jack, should be good there. Sit up, if it ends up being a crunch because you're struggling with the sit up, that's okay. And then the sit up thing, throw your arms so you don't go jumping backwards like I just did. So here, throw yourself up, try to get up. If you can't do that, sit up, roll over, stand up. Handstand hold. If you want to, this is a great time to practice your handstand hold. You don't have to get completely vertical with this. You can work on just getting up to here, working on one leg kick back. If you don't want to do that, we can do a plank, and we can add shoulder taps to it, where we're touching our shoulders, or we can just hold a plank and hold that plank for maybe 5 seconds or so to finish out that flow. Our no equipment workout, what we have is an EMOM, every minute on the minute for 15 minutes. We have 3 movements to go through. I want you guys to work for 45 seconds and always have about a 15-second rest. I want you to restart as much as possible, start the next movement at the top of the minute. The first movement that we have is 10 burpees. If you can't complete 10 burpees in 45 seconds, bring that down. Even if it's just 3 or 4 reps, whatever it takes for you to get 15 seconds or so of rest every single time. I want that work to rest ratio. So the 3 movements we're gonna do in this every minute on the minute for 15 minutes. First one is 10 burpees. Get our chest and our hips always on the ground. If you wanna be really efficient at this, you're gonna wanna push your shoulders up, and then we're gonna do what's called a reverse kip. I'm going to throw my hips toward the ceiling as hard as I can, and it allows my feet to scoop underneath me. I'm gonna stand up and jump. Hips to the ceiling, feet underneath, up and jump. Throwing your hips up in a reverse kip is gonna be the most efficient way. It's okay if you can't do that, you can go down to a knee. However you need to, just get your chest and your hips always down on the ground, and then get up, and then we wanna leave the ground. That's a good burpee. After that, we have a handstand walk, and we're gonna talk about a couple different ways that we can modify this. So for your handstand walk, it's all gonna depend on where you have to work out at. You can practice, this is a great time to practice, 45 seconds or so of each one. We're trying to keep our core tight, using your feet to be able to control where you're at. So this could just be practicing where we're working on getting up and trying to get over. Or this could be full handstand walking, just like this, taking it all the way to however far you have to walk. Other things that we can do is we can get against the wall. We can go against the wall. We can work on kicking up to a wall. Listen, have some type of matting down, especially if this is new to you. Don't get hurt doing any of this stuff. Put something down. I don't need nobody crashing down on themselves. So we can flip up here to the wall. We can work on holds. If this is getting easy for you, we can work side to side. So start motion, and then we can work on shoulder tapping. If both of those are difficult, we can take it down to the ground, hold a plank, start here with shoulder tapping. or we can take it all the way down and just do push-ups. Lastly, the third movement after our 10 burpees and our handstand walk, we're just gonna hold a plank. So we want you down here, core tight, squeezing everything, and we want a 45-second hold with a 15-second rest. You're gonna repeat this for 15 minutes, your 10 burpees for 1 minute, handstand walk for 1 minute, plank for 1 minute, go for 15 minutes.